In Lesson 3 in your book, which starts on page 77, we're going to be learning to do some basic shapes. This one is obviously learning how to draw a pencil shape. When you open Illustrator, you're going to go to Create New, and it's a new print document. This will come up. Be sure that it is on inches rather than pixels or points. And it really doesn't matter what size the document is. I just have my standard 8.5 by 11. This one is going to be called Pencil, but we will also save it as a pencil. And if you remember, we do have some trouble with things not saving the way they should, because sometimes SharePoint will freeze. So be sure to go and save this before you get started, and then you'll need to save often. Start by going to Windows, Workspace, and it should be on Basic, which mine is Essentials. And then we're going to go to the menu word View and turn on Show Grid. The grid looks like graph paper. We're also going to go back to the view and turn on Show Rulers. So we've got the rulers on the top and the sides. If you failed to get this into inches, you can always go back into File and Document Setup and make changes to anything that you didn't do right before. Since we're going to be using the basic shapes, go over to your toolbar and pull that out. So we're going to have our toolbar out here. We will start by zooming in to 150%, and when you zoom, it shows you down here what percentage you are at currently. Also under View, be sure that Smart Guides are turned on. Mine are. We're also going to be using the Transform panel, so go to Window and turn on Transform. So that's just another one that we will be using. So with our rectangle tool, we want to draw a rectangle that is 0.75 inches wide and 1 inch high. So these boxes are 1 inch. So I can do the 1 inch pretty easily, and then I'll do 3/4, and it also shows me as I'm drawing. So I'm a little bit over. There we go, perfect. And you can also see in your Transform panel that it shows you it's 0.75 inches wide. We need a second box inside the first one, and so we're just going to draw a second box inside, and you can see what it's supposed to look like on page 82. Next, we're going to change to this rounded rectangle. But on this one, we're going to click once someplace on the artboard, and it gives you this window so that we can set it before we draw it. So we want 70.75 on this one. You can hit Tab to get to the next. Whoops. And 0.75 on this one. And we want this one to be 0.020. And then when you click OK, you've got it drawn the perfect size. We're going to move that down right on top of our pencil, We're going to fill in that gap in just a minute. So with this rounded corner still selected, click once again, and this time we're going to take it to 0.85 by 0.10 and change this to 0.05 and hit enter. So that's our first little pencil topping holding the eraser on. So you have that selected. Hold the Alt key down and drag up, and you'll see that you get a second copy of it. So the Alt is a way to make a quick copy. Go into View and Outline to see this a little bit differently. Okay, so this time we're going to choose the Polygon tool. So click on the Polygon tool. There is a center point here, and so we're going to start at that center point, drag, whoops, I'm going to drag out, and while you're holding it, hit the down arrow 3 times to turn this into a triangle. I had mine set from when I tried it a minute ago. And you'll come up with this triangle, and we're going to have to move it around some. So I'm going to get on them with my selection tool, get on the corner. I'm going to have to go to Object and Transform. On page 88, we're going to draw the pencil can that goes with our pencil. So find an area on your artboard where you can have room to work. We've still got our grid so it shows our inches, because we are going to create a pencil can that's about 1 inch. So we're going to start with our ellipsis tool, and we're going to draw an ellipsis that goes across the width of 1 inch. And we want it 1 inch wide and 0.25 high. So you can see as I'm dragging, it shows me the height that I'm making it. See if I can get it more exactly. And if you remember from working with the other tools, I could have just clicked on the screen on the artboard and typed in those specific sizes. I want to copy just the bottom of that to make the bottom of my can. So I'm going to take the direct select and just literally click on the bottom of it and then copy. You can either do the edit copy or Control C and paste. And what this does, since we selected just the bottom of it, it gave us just the bottom half of that ellipsis. I'm going to move it in place. Take the line tool and you're going to connect these edges on both sides. And then next you're going to select all of those and do Object and Group. Once it's grouped, then we can use a tool called the Live Paint Bucket tool, which is over here on your toolbar. You'll need to change the fill color to black. And then when you click on your bucket, when you're in the lab, it will fill it with black. For some reason on my copy of Photoshop, I can never get the live paint feature to work. But it does work in the lab. I checked it out there. So you'll fill that with the black paint. And then this document is finished for now. Be sure to save it before you move on.